Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm super excited to deep dive into part 2 of our AI-powered resume screener project. Last time, we built the foundation, getting our app to successfully extract text from PDF and docx files. If you missed that, go back and check our part 1. It's the first crucial step. Today, we are giving our app its first taste of intelligence by implementing keyword matching. We'll write the code that allows our screener to compare skills from a job description against the resume text. Use Python sets to effectively find matching and missing skills. Calculate a simple matching score to give instant feedback. This is the foundation step in building any AI application, and it's a great way to understand how to process and compare text data. Keyword matching is considered a fundamental step in building an AI application because it serves as the most basic form of text processing and information retrieval. Before an AI can understand context and nuances, it needs to be able to identify and count specific piece of information or data. Let's get started. Let's modify the HTML page. On this, I'm going to rename the input field, this field, to resume, and create a new field to enter the job description. It should be comma separated. Alright, let's give row equals to 5 and columns equals to 50. I think that should be fine. Here we have a block of code that displays any error, and just below it we show the extracted text. Now let's add a couple of more sections where we'll show the analysis result, like matching scores, matched skills, and missing skills. Don't worry about this analysis underscore result dictionary for now. We will create it later. Just leave it as is for now. Let's give a heading. It says analysis result. Alright, the matching score will appear here once available. This part accesses the match score value from the analysis result dictionary and multiply it by 100 to convert it from a decimal to a percentage. The pipe symbol passes the result of the calculation to the format filter, and %.2f, this is the formatting string. It tells Jinja2 to format the number as a floating number with exactly 2 decimal places. Essentially, this line takes the decimal match score, convert it to a percentage, and then format it to display the decimal places, such as 75.50% or 80, something like that. Here I'm going to loop through all the skills in analysis result dictionary and display all the skills in a list. In the same way, let's show the missing skills. Here is the output after our HTML changes. You will notice that the section for match score, missing skills, and match skills are not showing up yet. This is because our code is checking the analysis result dictionary first, and since it doesn't have values for those sections right now, they are not being displayed. Our HTML page is now complete. Next, we'll update the backend logic in app.py. This line tells our app where to save the uploaded files. We set the uploaded folder to a folder named uploads. The next line makes sure that the folder actually exists. If it's not there, Python will create it for us automatically. This way, whenever someone uploads a file, our app always has a safe place to store it. Alright, we don't need to touch the rest of the code from part 1. Functions like allowed_file, extracted text_from_PDF, and extract text from docx are already working perfectly fine. So we'll leave just them as they are. Now we are going to make some changes to the upload underscore file function. First, let's change the name of the function. Earlier, it didn't really match what the function does, but now since the function's job is to handle file uploads and process those files, we'll rename it to make its purpose clear. Creating new variables to hold the extracted text and the final result. The analysis underscore result variable will be a dictionary, and we have used this in our front end to display the matched skills or missing skills and the match scores. Now we need to grab the resume and job description that the user uploads from the front end. Basically, we are collecting the information they just submitted through the form so our backend can start working with it. So I'm getting the file or the resume and the job description from the front end. Alright, now let's check if the resume underscore file is uploaded and the extension of that files are allowed. First, we are grabbing the file extension like .pdf or .docx from the uploaded file name. We use rsplit to split the name from the last dot, so we can pick up whatever comes after that. Then we make sure it's lowercase just to keep things consistent. Next, we read the file's actual content and store it inside something called bytes.io stream. Think of this as a temporary container in memory that holds the file so we can work with it later without saving it permanently on the computer. Well, here, if the file extension is PDF, we call extract text from PDF function, else extract text from docx. So here we are simply checking if both the extracted text from the resume and the job description are actually available. If they are, we'll send them to our analysis underscore resume function, which will do comparison for us. Don't worry, we'll define this function in the next step just below this code. Now let's return the extracted text and analysis result. Alright, now let's focus on the most important part of this section, the analysis underscore resume function. This is the piece of code that will actually read and process the resume. So think of it as the brain of this project. This function takes two inputs, the resume text and the job description, and perform the matching logic. Right, let's see the output quickly before we do our coding further. Looks like I made a tiny typo. I wrote exit underscore OK instead of exits underscore OK. Notice the extra S. The small difference changes the meaning. So let's quickly fix it to exits underscore OK. Now, because our analysis underscore resume function needs two pieces of information, we'll have to list both of them inside the function's brackets. Alright, here is the output. Now we can see the text we extracted shown on the screen. The next step is to add some logic that will actually analyze this uploaded data so we can do something useful with it. Alright, this line takes the job description string and turn it into a set of lowercase keywords. For example, Python, Flask, AI becomes a data set of lowercase or keywords. This line does the same thing for the resume text, creating a set of every word. The magic of sets. We use the intersection method to find all the words that exist in both sets. These are our matched skills. In Python, sets let us compare group of items really easily. When we use the intersection method, it gives us only those items that exist in both sets. For example, if one set has Python, Flask, and HTML, and another set has Python, SQL, HTML, the intersection method will give us Python, HTML. This means those are the skills that matched in both places, just like finding common friends in two different friend lists. We use the set difference operator to find the skills that are in the required skills but not in the resume word. These are our missing skills. Now let's return match skills, missing skills and match scores. This line takes the number of skills we found on the resume, divide it by the total number of skills we were looking for, and then give us the answer. Alright, we completed our coding part. Now let's check the output for the first time. Alright, let me add a couple of validation to check the file name and job description. If the post request has the file part, else return an error message. If job description is not entered, we are returning another error message. If the user does not select file, browser also submit an empty part without file name. So we have to return an error here. If the file type is neither PDF nor docx, we are going to return invalid file or invalid file type. Alright, here is the final output. So there we have it. We have successfully built a simple keyword matching engine for our resume screener. We can now give users instant feedback on how well their resume aligned with a job description. However, you have probably noticed that this method is very literal. It won't catch synonyms or related concepts. A resume with proficient in ML will fail to match job description looking for machine learning. That's a problem. Well, in part 3, we are going to solve this by moving from simple keyword matching to semantic similarity. We'll introduce a real AI model to understand the meaning of words, making our screener more intelligent and accurate. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Escape Room Coding to make sure you don't miss out on the next part. I'll see you there.